What's up, everyone? Welcome to today's video. Welcome to the Video Game Fight School channel. Thank you very much for tuning in. One of my audience members planted a bug in my ear. They said Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League is releasing at the wrong time because right now the live service genre seems to be at an oversaturated point. I agree with them because I started thinking about this and I even thought to myself, if anything, Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League could have received a lot more success, better acceptance if it was actually a free-to-play game. Now, this argument sounds insane, it sounds absurd, but for someone who's been playing live service games around the time that they were propagating like crazy, the 2015 through 2017 aspect, I played FIFA. From FIFA, I jumped to the Division. From the Division, I jumped to the Division 2. So I've been in the ecosystems, okay? I mean, it's not like I've been playing them from WoW or whatever it is. I'm just saying that there was a time where we started seeing a whole bunch of them. Battlefield 2, with all of their crazy madness that they try to do with their players to gouge them for money. And I'm talking not just the, live service games are the ones that were aggressive in their monetization. You'd see that all the way from that time, there have been few winners. If you think about even Anthem came out and it actually lost the game in terms of, pretty much being able to deliver to its audiences. And then you have Marvel's Avengers that is closed down and a whole bunch of others. These have scarred a lot of players to not go into these live service games wanting to pay full price for them and then have to face the possibility of them no longer being a thing. This is where we're seeing a lot of friction between fans and Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League because the game being online only is the biggest turnoff for most people. They're in the comment sections. You should read them. People are saying, man, why do I want to pay for a game that at any point the developers might decide that no longer do they want to continue to support the game, or maybe something might happen and the publisher says we don't have any money to support the game, and then that $70 that you paid for the product is basically vaporized. I say this as somebody who plays live service games, but here's the thing. It appears that Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League truly, in a sense, landed at what I think is the wrong time because this saturation is making publishers and developers of some of the more prolific live service games to adapt in a way that's very interesting. I'll give you the, publishers, and those are Ubisoft and, in quote, Bungie, because Bungie moves around a lot. You notice Bungie went free to play with Destiny, right? Or free to enter, depending on how you want to look at it, because you got to buy all those DLCs. Forsaken is not cheap. The new one, Lightfall or whatever the heck they're calling it, is not cheap. But they understand that, or understood that the market right now is changing and transforming. So Bungie made that move. Now, the Division did not necessarily make that move per se, but what they do frequently is they continue to drop the price of the game heavily. In fact, in 2020, when they were releasing their first, DLC, they dropped the game down to $3, the base game, so that you could come in and then eventually maybe continue to buy these DLCs. Over time, they continue to drop the game's price point, but now they're making another Division game that's a full-on free-to-play game that has crossplay and so on and so forth. Knowing that the market is saturated, they did not pursue a third Division game, which would have more than likely, in my opinion, sold a bunch, but understanding that it would probably not have been able to deliver as much sales, they decided to go with a free-to-play model. Rocksteady Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League wanting to follow that model from a business perspective is just a little bit too late. I think the window of opportunity closed somewhere around 2020 when Marvel's Avengers came in and pooped all over the fans with its own monetization practices, and the game did not deliver. Because at that time, a lot of other games surrounding the gaming ecosystem, good games, by the way, were coming out. The new generation of consoles were coming out, and people were starting to expect more and more. And by this time, Anthem had already started to pretty much fall down the drain in a sense. And we could also see that the gaming industry was transforming with higher quality games having come in the past. And when I say higher quality games, I'm talking about the 2018 Game of the Year winners and 2019 Game of the Year winners, and also the other games that were contending. Think about games like God of War. Think about games like Spider-Man. Think about games like Sekiro and From Software. And so this window was starting to close very heavily, and then by 2022, that window got fully shut down once Elden Ring came in and showed gamers that it is very possible to make a very solid game without having to deal with any of these other practices And I think gamers pretty much saw a whole different side of things. So Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League wanting to ask for $70 from gamers right now, not all gamers anyways, is going to be a hard sell for some. I myself, I am someone who covers these video games, so I'm looking forward to playing it and letting you know what the game is about, discussing the game and so on and so forth. But the YouTuber is not every gamer out there. There are people who have their reservations about these things. And I think this is probably why if Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League had shown up and said, hey, by the way, it's free to play, it would have really opened the door for a lot of people to say, oh, okay, it's a free to play, game. We're ready to jump in with some more monetization. And at the end of the day, if the game decided that its servers were to shut down, we're probably not going to worry about it because, we already had fun. But the $70 price tag and the entire, prospect of the game possibly disappearing if the servers were not live anymore is something that a lot of players are pretty much trying to deal with. I don't know how this is going to work out, though. Some people with goodwill from Rocksteady are going to go ahead and buy the game, no doubt about that. But some people don't seem to have that much goodwill, and I don't seem to, be in a position to blame them, even though I myself would wish that, at least more people would give the game a shot. But hey, it's their money. They can do whatever it is that they want. They can play the game or they can choose not to play the game. At the end of the day, that's the gamer's decision to make. Let me hear your thoughts in the comment section. Thanks so much for watching the video. I appreciate you guys' time and audience. Hopefully we'll talk pretty soon in another one. Peace out.